YouTube. So it's been a little while since I've last done a video, probably about 12 months now, but in the spirit of what I kind of intended to do with this channel, I've decided let me just do some more videos and keep it a little bit consistent, because I have had a few messages of people wondering where I've gone to. But I think my reason for doing a video today especially was because over all my videos, my opinions have changed on things. I've kind of grown, and I think I'm a very, very different person to the girl who started when she first made her first video or whatever. But my topic of choice of conversation today will be the topic of forgiveness. What forgiveness means, how we choose to go about forgiveness, and what the true essence of forgiveness is, because I think a lot of us don't fully kind of understand what it means to be forgiven and how we go about it with the repercussions that follow. So to me, it's easy to say to somebody you forgive them, but I think what a lot of us as individuals kind of don't do is understand internally what you're doing when you're saying to someone you forgive something. Now, there's that saying that you can forgive but you can never forget, but are you truly forgiving if you're not forgetting? Now, as individuals, we're always going to relate things to the past or bring things up that someone may have done simply because you may have been hurt by that or may have affected you. But how can we call ourselves trusting ourselves if we can't trust our word in actually forgiving that person and doing it without bringing up the past? So with me, I think I've gone through a few life experiences. I don't need to go into detail, but I've gone into a few life situations where I've had to use the word forgiveness. Now, with myself, I've realised that a lot of us, someone will do something bad to us or someone will do us wrong and we're like, yeah, we'll forgive you, we'll be forgiven. But I think the thing that as individuals, what we take for granted is what it means to be forgiven from something. Now, whether you did something which was intentional to hurt someone or it wasn't intentional to hurt somebody, we all have a certain power of maturity to act around a certain situation. And to call yourself mature means when you say that you're forgiving someone, you literally have to internalize what's happened, learn to deal with it and move on. And I think forgiveness isn't even just about forgiving someone else if they've done us wrong, or situation or friend or partner or whatever. I think it's first of all about forgiving ourselves and how forgiving we can be as individuals to ourselves, because we all make mistakes. But how forgiving are we to ourselves? And that's the thing. I think it's easy for us to kind of put up a smile to the world and say, yeah, we're okay, we're doing fine, we're great. But you're not being forgiven with a situation or to yourself if when you look in the mirror later on you're thinking, I don't feel that great. Because forgiving's meant to be something where it's always a hard thing to do, but after, it's a sense of, okay, I did the right thing. So yeah, just a little food for thought of what forgiveness means to me, how we go about forgiveness, and whether you can be forgiving to yourself in a situation. I mean, if we do something wrong, we're done wrong by, if we can't forgive ourselves first for accepting what that person's done or what you've done to somebody, then there's no way that you can forgive, because it starts with the self. And I think a lot of us kind of overestimate situations. Like, if you think about it, we have 24 hours in every single day. If you can't allow yourself to forgive yourself or forgive somebody else, that energy then transfers into the next day. And when you see kind of your path or your journey to success, how vital was those 24 hours that you weren't being forgiven of yourself? Because then really you're stunting your growth. And if you're stunting your growth, then heck, we all know the point is to live, eh? But yeah, I didn't want to make a long one because my videos before were pretty long. But that was just a little food for thought on what forgiveness is and how we go about it and how we can kind of just think about our ways. I didn't want to make a video today. I wasn't in the greatest of moods. See, I seem depressed every time I do a video. Let me just clear the air. I'm not. I was doing a lot of reflection, and I think that's what brought me to talk about forgiveness, is because even though we can forgive someone or forgive a situation or things that happen to our lives, it always starts from within. So forgive yourselves, forgive others, and just before you do things, understand what it means to be forgiven.